is First Look, a weekly look at all things First Lutheran. Hi, my name is Dave. I'm pastor here at First Lutheran, and I have Chris Van Devender with me today. Chris is a member of our church here and has a longtime leader in the women's organization here at First Lutheran. She's going to talk to us in just a minute about the convention that she attended and upcoming events for the women of the church. But first of all, I've got to get to something very important. As you all know, because we're just like covering the airwaves and everything else with it, we have Vacation Bible School coming up July 18th through 22nd. And of course, we want to get as many kids signed up as possible, but we also need just a bunch of volunteers. And it ranges everything from teachers to kitchen help to activity people. You name it, it's out there and we need the help. So if you would be so kind as to sign up, I understand you can do that on Facebook, and I know you can do it on our website. That's coming down the pike, and sign up and help us out with that particular event. It's always a lot of fun, and the last few years that we've done this, we've just had outstanding turnout from the kids, and when you're here, it's really quite contagious. Also, I want to mention something that's coming down the pike here for First Lutheran, and that is that very soon we are going to have a brand new website design, and then we are also going to be getting an app for your telephone. And that will help us with a lot of communication, and in fact, this last week we sort of started all of that by putting out a bulletin of sorts for folks to use during worship service. That will also come out via email, and it will also be on the app, and that will be a weekly thing. Very excited about that. Very excited about the app because that's a great way to communicate. And don't worry, don't get intimidated by it. If you need help with it, when we get the app going, we are going to have stations out in the narthex for several weeks, and you just bring your phone to us, and if it's an Apple phone, you take it to the Apple person. If it's an Android phone, you take it to the Android person, and they'll set it all up for you while you sit there. It takes just a few minutes. So that's coming down the pike, and I think it's very exciting, especially given the fact that we can communicate with all of you in very different ways. So you don't have a phone, but you have a computer. You can get information there. Or all you do is look at your phone like me, and you never look at emails. You get your information there. It's just multiple ways to disseminate what's going on here at First Lutheran, and also to tailor the things that you see for that are of interest to you. More on that later. But for right now, I have Chris here, and you were at a convention this last week.
Yes. On Friday, the leaders of our synod, Western Iowa Synod Women's Organization, WISWO for short, and that's what I'll call it the rest of the time. Mm-hmm. But WISWO women leaders met on Friday and finished with a final putting together of a very stupendous convention this year. The business meeting was shortened quite a bit, and yet we still got everything done. And we had a very inspirational and funny speaker, Karen Schwaller, who is from Milford, I believe. She's a farm wife, freelance writer, humorist, speaker, really good. And she entertained us. And then right after lunch, we had the singing nuns come and visit. Not quite the ones from Sister Act, but kind of built on it. Okay. And they sang some really cool songs and put on a very short show to get us started back in the afternoon when you're usually ready for a nap. So we got a lot done, like I said. We did elect a new vice president and some new board members, and their names will all be coming out in the next Scribe. And in July, since I'm still the Scribe editor, I will be putting out the special edition of the convention Scribe so people can look at it. The Scribe is kind
of the women's newsletter.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Yeah,
and I always have a copy of it hanging in the narthex here. Mm-hmm. So anybody can look at it. Either have Shelley make a copy if you want to take it home, or just put it back up on the bulletin board.
Sounds good.
But I also email it out to anybody who gives me their email address. So, you can certainly get it that way.
Well, first of all, Chris, let me tell you thank you for getting us through the Lutheran alphabet soup. Wizwo, and nobody knows what that means.
Yeah.
Or, folks inside do, but folks that are kind of new to us, they really don't have a clue, right?
Western Iowa Synodical Women's Organization.
And I just said WELCA. They don't know what that means either. That's Women of the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America.
Yeah.
That, by the way, is a national organization, and then that breaks down into geographic areas we call synods, and that's what you were attending was the geographical
exactly.
meeting. Yeah. Well, it sounds wonderful. You had some business, but it sounds like lots of other good things.
Oh, and I forgot probably what I considered the most spiritual part of it. The host church planned a biblical Bible study, but it was based on Christ's journey to the cross, and it was called Journey to the Cross, and it had several stations, and it had a multi-sensory experience that you went through.
Cool.
It was music, and it was artifacts, and it was Bible readings. Everything was there. So it was really, really neat. And the women, we went through kind of in stages, and the women just were very...
That's cool.
You could tell they were touched by everything that was presented there.
That we have to talk about this after this, because I'm thinking that something like that might be good for a Wednesday night when we're in Lent.
Yes.
Might be a great way to sort of introduce folks to what happens to Jesus on the cross.
Yes, it would be. It would be a very, and for families to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. So you also said there's something else coming down this summer.
Yes.
Tell us about that. And this is First Lutheran.
For First Lutheran Welcome women of the ELCA, and that's every woman in our First Lutheran congregation, by the way. It's not just the old ladies are the only ones that go. It's not just us. It's for all women who have the time or the energy and the inspiration to want to help out. Many of you have helped out. I was just serving at a funeral earlier today, and many of you help out by providing that. That's a Welka event. So, but anyway, back to what I was going to talk about. In July, I believe it's the 17th. 17th is Sunday, right? Because
could be.
The 18th is Monday.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, July 17th, starting at 4 o'clock. And it'll go probably till about 8, maybe 9, depending on how people are going. But we'll have a first family picnic for all the First Lutheran families and people. You don't have to be a family, you can be an individual too. But Walco will provide the meat and lemonade and coffee if it's not too sweltering out. And anybody who attends can bring some kind of a side, whether it be a salad or a dessert or a bag of chips, whatever trips your trigger. And we'll meet in the south lawn of the church. South, that's south.
Yep.
I had to make sure I was looking the right direction.
Yeah.
And bring your lawn chairs and your bug spray if it seems to be buggy in town. And we'll have fun. We'll have games and conversation, and then always lots of good food.
Absolutely. So it's south that way for us, but I think when we turn it around in the sanctuary, it's going to be that way.
Okay, so whatever way south is from where you're sitting.
There you go. Well, Chris, thank you so much for coming in. It's been delightful visiting and hearing so much about what's going on with the women, both in the region, but also here at First Lutheran.
Yeah, and I want to emphasize, one of the reasons that I've been so involved in WELCA is that when we join with other women across our synod and across our country, we really get a lot done. And that's one of the things that we learned about too at the convention. Because there's lots of people that come in and have displays or reports. So, it's nice to belong to a larger organization.
Absolutely.
Just like our church does.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, what's our motto here? Be a part of something larger than yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So, thank you, folks. And once again, good to have you here at worship. And we hope you have a great week. But in the meantime, this has been First Look.
Welcome home.